giant TV screens, and so they're able to feel a part of what's going on, even if they are a long, long way from the Capitol, and people are packing into that famous grass strip of land between the Capitol and the Washington Monument to play a part in today, even if it's not the same numbers. The metro system, the underground metro system here is reporting numbers around about half what they were in 2009, some crowding at the metro stations, but what was expected really, numbers around about half, maybe a little less than the 1.8 million who were on the Mall 4 years ago.
Indeed, so we will see the First Lady very shortly indeed. I'm sure that she will get a huge roar from this crowd, however many the number does turn out to be. It'll certainly be many hundreds of thousands on a very chilly day in Washington. Not as chilly as when President Reagan first took office. It was just 7 degrees Fahrenheit when he took office, and he actually chose to take his allegiance inside. Let's just listen to the crowd. We're loving a new haircut, aren't we? She looks stunning, and saying hello to President Clinton there. Joe Biden, the Vice President, will be taking his place on the podium as well very shortly. Indeed, 1,600 people on that podium this afternoon, Dominic, with hundreds of thousands of others lining the route back to the White House. What happens as far as the Vice President is concerned? Do they also take the same route, Dominic?
Yeah, he's going to take the same. He's going to take the same oath, the vice presidential oath that he took yesterday. And look at these pictures of Michelle Obama and Sasha Amalia, the first daughters, if you like, the daughters of the president and the first lady, reminding us of the rather touching scene yesterday in the private ceremony in the White House, where the president managed to get his words right, as did Chief Justice John Roberts, because of course 4 years ago they bungled their lines and did so badly they had to repeat them again the next day. And after he managed to get his lines right, the president gave his wife a hug and then gave his daughters a hug. And as he gave his younger daughter, Sasha, a hug, she said, "Good job, Daddy." And he said, "I did it." Wasn't quite clear at that stage whether he meant he'd managed to, he did it in the sense of winning a second term or he just got his lines right. And she said, "You didn't mess up." So very touching. A reminder that the most powerful man on earth still has teenage daughters who are keeping an eye on him and making sure that he's getting his lines right and not embarrassing them. So he's now waiting in the wings. We've seen the First Lady, we've seen Sasha Amalia. We have the stage set on this enormous wooden construction, as you say, Kate, holding 1,600 people and another 1,000 in the bleachers above it. They build this huge platform out from the Capitol building that holds the dignitaries, the Houses of Congress, the former presidents, the Supreme Court justices and others who are gathered up there now are waiting for the ceremony to begin. It's going to begin with the United States Marine Band playing music. We'll also hear from the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir. We're going to have music from Beyonce as well. She's going to sing the national anthem. And in between the two oaths, the vice presidential oath and the presidential oath, we're going to hear from James Taylor, of all people, who will give some musical accompaniment and play the interlude there between the two oaths. Okay. So the stage set is for what will be a very important occasion for these hundreds of thousands of Americans gathered here now in the Mall, and the millions, of course, watching back at home.
Let's just listen to the crowd as the Vice President takes his place on the podium. President just a few steps behind. Looking pretty solemn, Greg, isn't he?
Well, I think it's a solemn occasion for any president, because the weight of expectation at this moment, I think the former presidents have said becomes very, very real, and the importance of this occasion for the American people. And Barack Obama talked about this last night at a reception for supporters and fundraisers, where he said this isn't about a swearing in, it's about the American people and their relationship with Washington, their relationship with each other, and that is the importance of today. Senior members of Congress behind him there, the Speaker of the House, John Boehner, and Eric Cantor next to him there, figures, of course, who he'll lock horns with again not too soon. But it's an occasion of great importance, not just to politicians and those involved in the ceremony, but to Americans across the country. And I think even as we see that famous Barack Obama smile, that will very much be reflected in what he says in his inaugural address. We're told not to expect a lot of policy detail, but to expect the big picture, something that will define America for the next 4 years. Remember, he gives his State of the Union in a couple of weeks' time. That will be about detail. This is much more about an aspiration for not only him, but for the American people as well.
And the First Lady has a role to play, doesn't she, in the swearing in the inauguration? Does she hold the Bibles?
Yeah, we saw yesterday, although it was a much more private affair in the Blue Room in the White House, the First Lady held the Robinson family Bible. Today it will be a stack of Bibles, and it's a familiar scene, of course. Presidents throughout history